Some time ago, we already had a look at the Gelid Stella Fans. Really not the best fans out there, they really weren't. But now Gelid came with a new attempt, the Gelid Stella Infinity. Now on the surface, they are the same fans. Still 1600 RPM, still 70 CFM, and still with up to 1.3 mm of H2O static pressure, still a 50 cm long PVM cable and a 3-pin ARGB cable with splitter to get everything going. But they are not the same fans. And this is probably the best example of why fans need to be tested individually while completely ignoring whatever the manufacturer or the spec sheet is saying. Because although they state that all the numbers are identical, the fan wings are definitely not. Okay, there are still 9 of them, but now they got kind of indentations to get the airflow going, and the notch at the end of it is gone. And the central fan part is about 2 mm bigger, so the fan wing is actually a bit shorter. And now we also have hydrodynamic bearing instead of the dual ball bearing the originals had, so there are quite a lot of differences. So no, although airflow, pressure and noise have the same numbers on the box, it's pretty much a guarantee that the actual performance measured will somehow not be the same. And guess what? They are not. They are close, but they are not the same. Letting 3 Gelid Stella Infinity fans spin at 100% of their max speed in a hybrid case almost heatsink benchmark showed that the new Infinities were able to keep the CPU at 57.2 degrees C above ambient. That's 0.8 degrees C difference. It's not the same. Now, I'm not delusional, including the margin of error. Those are the same fans, and it's still not a good one. It's comparable to Be Quiet slow spinning sounding force, nothing to be particularly proud of, but hey, it's marginally better than the other ones. That being said, in the noise department, it did make quite a bit of a difference, and not in a good way. Now, first the good thing, at max performance the new Infinity version was both cooler and quieter, which is great. But then once you even touch the speed, the original version just takes over and leaves the other one kinda in the dust. Seems like the added notches and oversized central part did not do very well on lower speeds, which was kinda foreseeable, but to be honest, yeah, it's not the very best results, not the worst ones, no, for sure not. There are still things like the Xylence XPF 120s, they have even worse ratios. But on the grand scheme, the new Infinities did not even come close to Arctic's reference P12, which is a bit disappointing. But let's get to something that wasn't a disappointment, RGB. Now, if you aren't addicted to eating glue, you should know that the Infinity in the name comes from the Infinity RGB mirror in the center. Whoa. No, jokes aside, the implementation is surprisingly good. For a budget fan, it's surprising that they put addressable LEDs in both the outer frame and the inner piece of the fan. That's pretty nice. It illuminates everything surprisingly well and leaves pretty much no untouched spots. Nice fluid transitions, and I even believe that it's harder to see any LEDs compared to the original Gelid Stella. On the design part, there is little to no other difference. The only thing I could spot is that the gray rubber pads around the screw holes are now black, which, okay. And of course the Infinity mirror, which is the main selling point, that's the difference. And even the packaging is pretty much the same, looks almost alike and comes with exactly one fan and a bag of screws. And on that note, similarly to the original Stellas, there is also an Amber 8 Pro available if you want to get a complete case setup with a single box. 5 Stella Infinity fans and a Amber 8 Pro ARGB and PVM controller. With that one you can power up to 8 fans and 10 ARGB devices simultaneously, either by using the included remote or via your motherboard software. So you can do that. On the quality side of things, it's a budget fan. It's okay for what it is, but just like don't expect Noctua grade quality in here. It's sturdy enough, it's okay for the price, but it's not going to blow you away. But on the performance side, yeah, that could have been better for a case fan. It's just a bit too loud for my taste. But maybe the price will change the opinion. Well, it's interesting because on Gelid's website, all Stella fans have the exact same price. Even the combi packs. $12 for a fan or 44 for the whole box. And that makes it about 8 pesos and 80 cents for a single fan, which is very much okay, considering that a Xylence XP-F120 ARGB, which performs worse on max speed for both metrics, that one will cost you about 8 euros right now and here. So 8.8 isn't really that far of a stretch, but that's only the case if you're into ARGB or you need that piece in the middle. So the price conclusion is, once again, if you are in for a very budget fan and you are so much into that dual RGB ring mirror piece in the middle, as a case fan they will do it, but if you don't care for a fancy light show or you're looking for the best bang for the buck, well then the P12 or P12 Max or the Alpha Cool Core series will still be the better option. For the special craptastic product description, there will be none this time, because everything Gelid wrote on this box makes sense and doesn't oversell or sugarcoat anything. You made it. You made it through this time. But I'm reading everything. Everything. On a short side note, because Gelid also sent over their Amber 8 Pro pack, so I have more of those available, which we will use in a build at some point later. But it gives me the opportunity to talk a bit about the protective layer on the center. And I'm doing that because I don't know what they did, but they did pretty much everything wrong here. So you have that blue color, which you want to have gone, of course, and you have this little piece that you can pull on. Well, for half of my fans, what happened is pretty much this. I pulled on that piece and the blue stuff stayed on. Which, okay, I mean, you can still see it. So you try to fiddle it off with your nails and at some point you will get it off. And what happened for pretty much every single one of my fans was I scratched the hell out of the centerpiece now. And this is now also the reason why I'm saying this, because there is another protective layer on there underneath the blue one. I realized it this morning and I did all my benchmarks with it. I just didn't know about it, but you can scratch the hell out of it, and if you can do that, there is a piece of plastic. So if you now fiddle even more, there is another little layer, but this one is like transparent, so you don't immediately see that it's there. And now you have a much more sturdier layer that doesn't scratch that easy. So just so you know, you need to remove more than one. The blue is just the first one. But okay, this should be it for Gelid and their Stella Infinity. At this point, a huge thank you to them for sending it over. And on a side note, we also have a Discord server, so if you want to join, the link is down below. And of course, we still have channel membership, so if you are looking for a good way to sell your soul for an RG poop emoji, that's a pretty good way to go. Additionally, you can rest assured that the income will not only keep the channel afloat, but it will also serve to get a high-powered laser. Not that I need one, but I want to find out how deep that black hole in the center truly is. Anyway, thank you for watching, and if you want to continue, have a look at our take on the Montech Metal 120. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.